Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Drew Kane has never been a man who plays games, but in the unfolding drama inside General Hospital, it looks like even Drew is about to get tangled up in dangerous decisions that have ripple effects he never imagined. For months, fans have speculated that Drew has been hiding something beneath his calm, measured exterior. He's been a source of stability for those closest to him, a man who values loyalty and honesty above all else. Yet the reality is, even the most grounded character can reach a breaking point. And in Drew's case, that breaking point comes in the form of a bribe, one so explosive that it threatens to rock Willow's entire world. The bombshell doesn't just rest on the act of bribery itself, but rather in the way Drew decides to wield it, the timing of the reveal, and who gets caught in the crossfire. Drew's actions aren't happening in a vacuum. They're happening in a web of shifting alliances, old resentments, and deeply buried secrets. To understand why this move is so seismic, we need to look at how Drew has been slowly pulled into morally gray territory despite his better instincts. He knows what's right, he knows what's wrong, but when family and love come into play, sometimes the line isn't so clear. And now, it seems like Drew has decided that the ends justify the means. At the heart of this explosive situation is Willow, who has already endured more than her fair share of heartbreak. She's fought illness, betrayal, and family chaos. She's tried again and again to carve out a life of peace with Michael, to put her children first, and to leave behind the turbulence that has followed her since the day she walked into Port Charles. But peace is fleeting in this town, and Willow is about to learn that trust is fragile when those around her start making dangerous choices without her knowledge. Drew's bribe is the spark that sets everything on fire, and once Willow learns the truth, there's no going back. What makes Drew's decision so complicated is that it comes from a place of wanting to protect the people he loves. He isn't trying to destroy lives. He isn't scheming for money or personal gain in the way so many Port Charles villains have done. Instead, he's attempting to tilt the scales in favor of his own family. And that, ironically, is what makes the fallout so devastating. Because when good men make desperate choices, the consequences can be even more painful than when the bad guys play their games. The bribery bombshell is rumored to connect to major business dealings at ELQ, where Drew has already faced power struggles and shady competitors. In his mind, maybe greasing a few palms or manipulating the outcome of certain deals seems like a way to secure stability for those he cares about. But here's the problem. When you start playing dirty, there's always someone watching. Someone always finds out. And in this case, the person blindsided by the revelation is Willow, who never expected Drew, of all people, to stoop to such a tactic. Imagine the moment Willow hears about it. For her, Drew has been someone to trust, someone steady. The idea that he would involve himself in bribery, no matter the justification, cuts deep. It's not only about the act itself, it's about the trust that's shattered in its wake. Willow knows all too well how secrets and lies corrode relationships. She's been lied to before by people she loved, from Chase to Michael, even from Nina, whose deception about being her mother created chaos in her life. She's been burned enough times that honesty is everything to her now. And when Drew's deception comes to light, she won't just question his actions. She'll question everything about his integrity and the kind of man he really is. What's more, the ripple effects don't stop with Willow. Michael is pulled into the fire as well, because Willow will demand answers. She'll want to know how much Michael knew, whether he turned a blind eye, whether he tried to shield her from yet another harsh truth. If it turns out Michael knew more than he let on, Willow may start to wonder if the very foundation of her marriage is built on shaky ground. And that is where this storyline really explodes, because Willow and Michael have fought tooth and nail to hold onto their love through illness, mob drama, and endless family wars. Now, the idea that something as insidious as bribery could drive a wedge between them is almost unthinkable. Yet in Port Charles, nothing is ever truly unthinkable. Drew himself may not even realize just how badly this could spiral. He may believe that his decision was a necessary evil, a move that could be contained. But as every General Hospital fan knows, nothing stays buried. Secrets always come out at the worst possible time. And in true soap fashion, it won't just be Willow who learns about this bribe. It will be other players too, Nina, Carly, maybe even Valentine, each of whom could use this information as leverage for their own purposes. That's where Drew's good intentions backfire. He may have thought he was buying protection, but in reality, he's given his enemies ammunition. Let's not forget that Drew has always tried to distance himself from the darker side of business and mob dealings. He's not Jason. He never wanted to be Jason. He didn't want to live in a world where violence and corruption ruled his every move. Yet here he is, dipping his toes into shady waters. And the moment Willow discovers this, she won't see it as just one bad decision. She'll see it as Drew crossing into a world that could threaten everyone she loves. For someone who nearly lost her life not long ago, someone who cherishes every day with her children, the thought of being dragged back into danger because of someone else's choices will feel like the ultimate betrayal. The emotional fallout promises to be massive. Willow will struggle with anger, disappointment, and a sense of betrayal so deep that it could shake her relationships with not only Drew, but also with Michael, Carly, and anyone else connected to this scheme. Her world has been fragile, rebuilt piece by piece after her health battles. Now, this bribery bombshell threatens to shatter it all over again. And the bigger question becomes, can she forgive Drew, or will this mark the end of her trust in him forever? It's also worth noting how this could affect Drew himself. He's not a man who easily forgives himself when he makes mistakes. He's carried guilt before, and this will be no different. Once Willow confronts him, once he sees the damage he's done to her trust and to the family's sense of unity, Drew may spiral into self-loathing. He may even try to fix things in ways that only dig him deeper. Because that's the tragic cycle of Port Charles. One mistake leads to another, and before you know it, you're in a mess so big you can't step into the chaos. Nina, for one, will almost certainly seize on this. She's always looking for a way to prove herself or to turn the tables on those who judge her. If she gets wind of Drew's bribe, she could weaponize it against Willow and Michael, especially given the fragile state of her relationship with her daughter. Valentine might also use the information strategically, especially if it gives him leverage at ELQ. And then there's Carly, who will be stuck in the middle, torn between protecting Drew and keeping the peace with Willow and Michael. No matter how you look at it, the ripple effects are endless. For Willow, the hardest part may be reconciling the man she thought Drew was with the man he's become. Is he still the good guy who wanted nothing but to do right by his loved ones? Or has the pressure of living in Port Charles finally worn him down, turning him into someone willing to cross lines that can't be uncrossed? The answer won't come easily, and it certainly won't come without pain. Fans should prepare for emotional showdowns, tense confrontations, and plenty of heartache. Willow's world is about to be blown apart, and Drew may not even realize how many lives his one act of bribery will affect. Because in Port Charles, one choice doesn't just change your life, it changes the lives of everyone around you. And as this storyline unfolds, it's clear that the fallout is only just beginning. The real question is, will Drew's family stand by him when the dust settles, or will this be the moment that tears them apart for good? And for Willow, will this be the final straw that pushes her to step back from the toxic cycle of lies and secrets that seem to define life in Port Charles? Or will she find a way to forgive, to rebuild, and to hold on to the life she's fought so hard to create? One thing is certain, Drew's bribery bombshell is not just a twist in the storyline, it's a turning point. And for Willow, it's the moment where everything she thought she knew gets turned upside down. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for all of your updates.